Yo, RX back with another recap of UFC Vegas 80 Green versus Dawson. Shockingly, pretty good card. I know a lot of people who, if you ask, will say the card sucked, and what's the simplest way I could put that? They're wrong. Was it outstanding? No. But let's be fucking honest. It was 10 fights, I'll get to why it was not 11 in a second. And from top to bottom, I don't think it was a bad fight. Was any of the fights 5 a year, 5 a night? No. But did we get a bad fight? I don't think so. Like, I would rather have a card like this where we had solid to average fights all night compared to a card that had, yeah, maybe a great fight, but like 2-3 great fights, but some average and shit fights in between. That's most fucking fight nights. That pay-per-views also. So, yeah, I think this card was pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised and I enjoyed all of it. Like, right, no fights were bad. So, yeah, we're not much more to say besides card was good, and let's recap it. So, before I do, please like, comment, sub. 100 subs goal by the end of the year. I know I'm not gonna hit it. Let's try 50. I had I'm gonna do that either. I probably won't even hit 30. I'll dream though. But enough from me rambling. Let's recap some fights. You ready? Let's go. 10 fights in total. The reason it wasn't 11 fights is because we did lose a fight during the card. That was Ian Cutelaba versus Felipe Lins. Lins got sick. Do I really care? No. I could care less about that fight. 2 shit fighters. And yeah, but I don't care. Cut Lins. Could get Cutelaba a new fight in a couple weeks. Next. So, not much to say. We had 10 fights to break down. Let's start with the first fight of the night, which was shockingly pretty decent. And we have J.J. Aldrich versus Montana de la Rosa. Not a bad fight. For 15 minutes, they pretty much just had a stand-up fight, and it was good. It was a pretty entertaining fight. They went back and forth. Both landed at a pretty consistent rate, landed good shots, and had a good striking match. But throughout the whole fight, it was pretty much Aldrich just being better on her feet, because all she did was use a more relaxed, calm, smart approach. She worked behind her jab real well, couple kicks, and just fought really smart. Whereas De La Rosa was trying to do more fancy shit, spinning heel kicks, fucking axe kicks, teep kicks, body kicks, fucking overhands, trying to get a knockout that you're never gonna get because you have no power. So, De La Rosa in a way lost herself. This fight fighting so bad. I'll take it back. She didn't fight bad. She just fought kind of not too bright. She was trying to go for a knockout when she was never gonna get, and JJ for 15 minutes just stayed behind her jab and worked really well to a decision. A 30-27 across the board, which I'm not upset about. Yeah, not very much to say about this fight overall. It was good. Like I said, for 15 fucking minutes, they brawled and had a pretty decent fight. Easily the best fight of JJ's career, and probably the best fight of Montana's career. So yeah, it was a pretty decent fight, and respect to both for kicking off the card right. They traded leather and began to write. So unless we're going to talk about something, let's talk about who they could fight next, because I really don't have much more to say. The fight was very much good striking match, but JJ just won. But they able to do better. But yeah, now talk about who J.J. Aldrich could fight next. Now she's won 2 in a row, and within a month, 2 months, not great wins, but they're wins, and now she's on a winning streak. And she's always been pretty highly rated in the division, so she's right back to that point. So who could she fight? You got some options. You definitely got some options. You got fucking Miranda Maverick, Jasmine Jasdovicius, Joanne Wood, Karolina, and that might be pushing it, but I think like these are your three best options. She deserves either someone coming off a win or someone who's pretty highly touted. I'm not sure who else she could fight that would make sense. So I do like any of those three fights. I think any of those three fights work pretty well, and I'm down to see them. I think all three work well. Actually, I think she trains with Maverick, so knocked it off the table. But either one of these two worked real well. Jazz coming off a loss, that'd be good. Calderwood, a veteran, would be interesting. I think after the Na Liang fight for Aldrich, I said she should fight Joanne Wood, and I guess I'll stick with that. I think that's a decent fight. Both are veterans. Both are coming off wins, if not multiple. And why not? Makes sense. It's a battle of veterans, and the winner goes higher up and closer to the rankings. Both have been always pretty close to the rankings, and like I said, very highly touted. So why not get them do that fight? So might not be the most entertaining fight in the world, but let's book it anyway. And to talk about Montana De La Rosa, she's in a pickle right now because now what? 3 in a row. And we all know what 3 in a row means. You're probably gonna get cut. Do they cut her? I think you do. Like, she's 12-9. She's only 28 years old, and yes, she's not losing to the worst fighters, and this is pretty bad, but these two are fine. But I don't know, like, why keep her around? She's 5-1 in UFC. She is 12-9 on a 3-fight skid, not getting a win since 2021, and before that, her last one was in 2020. She's not that good anyway. I think it might be time for Montana to get cut. Maybe they give her another fight. Who? Stoyarenko, Teresa Bleda. Build up a prospect with her name, with De La Rosa. Fucking Luana Santos. Someone along those lines. You could do that if you want. But besides that, I really don't know what else you could do with her. Like, what are you gonna feed her to Molly McCann? Or fucking... what? Jasmine Jasdovicius you can give her to? I guess you could do that, but I don't really see the point of it. So, I say probably just cut her. She can go to Bellator, she can go to PFL, she can go to Invicta, and probably do pretty decent, so... I think it's time for De La Rosa to get cut. Not that good of a fighter anyway. 3-fight skid usually means you are packing yo bags out to UFC, so... yeah. Do I think they'll actually cut her? Probably not. I could see her getting Stoyarenko, a Gatto, a fucking McCann, Jasdovicius, Bakapova, anyone along those lines. But I would cut her, to be honest, so yeah, that's what I would do. I don't know if they actually do it though. So, yeah. But yeah, not very much more to say about this fight. Pretty decent fight to begin the night. It was fun. They went back and forth, not a good fight. And who should they fight next? I like JJ Aldrich versus Joanne Wood. And I don't want to say I would like to see, but I do think Montana De La Rosa should get cut. Aldrich and Wood makes sense. Might be an interesting fight. De La Rosa, sorry, but it's time for you to go. Good fight to be in the night, and I predicted an underdog to start the night. I'm smart. She's a theme for the night. I'm smart. I know, I'm shocked. After that, we head to our second fight of the night, which was also a pretty fun fight, and it was not bad at all. And we have Aoriqileng versus Johnny Munoz Jr. Not a bad fight. In round 1, they did a little bit of striking, but overall Munoz got to the ground and was able to hold Aoriqileng in a body triangle for most of the round. Then in round 2, Aoriqileng really started to wake up. He was hurting Munoz on the feet, just being able to keep it on the feet most of the round. He did get taken down once or twice, but he was able to get up. And it was 1-1 going into the third, and the third was all Aoriqileng. He was way better on feet, hurting Munoz bad. Munoz was gassed. He couldn't get to the ground with his sloppy, tired takedowns. And Aoriqileng just picked him apart for 5 minutes and got the win. Yeah, not far from the fight I expected, especially picking Aoriqileng to get a decision. I would have not been shocked if he got a finish, but this was a lot like the Daniel Santos fight when he fought Johnny Munoz. Munoz is tough. I'll give him the one compliment I'll give Johnny Munoz is he is tough. It's hard to finish him, but besides that, he's just not good. And this is not far off from that fight with Santos. He got beat up most of the fight, and he survived, but again, he got pretty much just beat up pretty badly. And yeah, pretty clear-cut decision for Aoriqileng, and all the judges agreed. And he walks away with his first one in a minute. I'll talk about Aoriqileng first. Yeah, he first won in a while since about this time last year when he beat Jay Perrin. He's a weird fighter. I think he's good. He's like a little under. He's not even mid. He's just like, he's decent. Like, he debuted and had one of the best fights of 2021 with Jeff Molina. Then he had to fight Durden. Questionable if he won or lost. I remember people crying robbery. Then he moves up to 135. His weight class, he's too big for flyweight. And he goes on a nice 2-fight winning streak. Yes, against terrible fighters, but what can you do? Then he comes back almost a year later and gets flatlined by Ayman Zahabi. And then 4 months later, he beats Johnny Munoz. So he's had a very up and down UFC career. Like, every time he fights a pretty decent fighter or even a kind of average fighter, he loses. But he can beat these bad fighters like Munoz, Perrin, and else. So that's good, I guess, that he can win fights against pretty mediocre fighters. But if you can never beat the better fighters, then what's the fuck the point? So yeah, I don't know. I like Aoriqileng. He's an entertaining fighter, but I definitely think because he has a very big record, 25-11. I definitely think all the damage he's taken in fights is affecting him. Like, just in the UFC debut, he took a fuck ton of damage. So yeah, he's a fun fighter, but he's far from being that great of a fighter. But he got back on track here, and that's good for him. He got back on track with a pretty decent performance. Showed his gas tank's not great, but it can last. His chin is getting weaker, but it held up this fight. His ground game's not great, but his striking is pretty decent. He has decent power. He just fought a really smart fight here and got the win, which is all that mattered. So yeah, pretty decent performance for Aoriqileng. To talk about his opponent, Johnny Munoz, not very much to say. He's not good. Like, he's 2-4 in the UFC, and his only 2 wins are against 2 god-awful fighters. And every time he fights even a half-decent fighter, he gets completely beat. Maness beat him, Gravely flatlined him, Santos ran through him, Aoriqileng ran through him. He's definitely in a pickle now. He's definitely on the same boat as Montana De La Rosa. You could cut him. Wouldn't be mad if you did. It would make sense. Dude, like I said, dude lost 2 in a row in his last 5. He's 2-3, and only people he's been able to beat are bad fighters. And even if Tony Gravely and Nate Maness are not the fucking highest, and even Aoriqileng ain't the fucking highest level of fighter, but they even beat him pretty soundly. So yeah, I don't know. If you cut him, I don't think anyone cares. I know I don't. I would not care. I would actually be a little happy because I think I hate watching him fight. But if you give him another fight, he'll probably just lose anyway. Yeah. Not really much more to say about this fight besides who should they fight next. For Aoriqileng, after getting back on track with his first win in a minute, who could he fight? Got some options. Tony Gravely, if he was still in the UFC, is not bad. Would not be a bad one. Dano Santos is right there, but I'm not loving him fighting a higher level dude already. Damon Blackshear is not bad, but I'm not even a fan of that. Brady Heaston's okay. Ooh. Ricky Torcios? I like that. Ricky's been off a minute. Mongolian Murderer and Ricky Torcios? Ooh, now we are talking. That's a fucking war, my guy. Ooh. If they do that, holy shit. Actually another good one, Dan Argueta. That'd be a pretty good fight. Yeah, but I love that fucking Ricky Torcios fight. Like, god damn. That's a good fight. Like, I'm thinking about how that fight would go. They are going to goddamn war and back. I don't hate it. I don't hate it, and I think I might say do that. That'd be a really badass fight. Fuck it, look at Torcios and Aoriqileng. That's a fun fight. Let's see it. And then for Johnny Munoz, either you cut him or you give him someone like, I don't know, Dan Argueta, or someone coming off Contender Series, something like that. So, yeah. Yeah, not very much more to say about this fight, besides it was a really fun fight. It was a decent fight, I should say. And who should they fight next? I like Aoriqileng versus Ricky Torcios, and Johnny Munoz, cut him or feed him to someone. Don't care. Aoriqileng and Torcios is a banger. Munoz, I don't care either way. Good performance by Aoriqileng to get back on track. Fun fight like I like with any Aoriqileng fight. After that, we had two strawweight for a fight that was controversial, but I don't agree with the controversy, and I will break down my opinion on why in a minute. But our third fight of the night, which was pretty good, as we have Vanessa Demopoulos versus Kanako Murata. Good fight. Very annoying fight to watch if you're picked one side. Very interesting fight to watch in hindsight, knowing the score cards, and a lot to say. Round one, on the feet, it was close, but when they got in the clinch, Demopoulos did some good work, and I did think she took that round, and everyone agrees. That was a clear round for Demopoulos. She was able to do more on the feet. She did end up getting taken down at the end of the round, but didn't do shit. Round two, the controversial round. I'll talk about round two in a second. I want to talk about that last. Round three, Murata was able to just hold her down and do better work and win that round. So, Demopoulos won round one, Murata won round three. All comes down to that middle round. I'm not mad with how the judges scored it, because literally the whole round was Murata on top. But she didn't do shit. She threw shitty punches that barely hit and did no damage. Demopoulos cut her bad. Good elbows, good punches from the bottom, submission attempts. She did good. And I'm not mad at that scorecard. I scored for Murata watching it live, but I'm not mad at giving the first two rounds to Demopoulos. I think it's a very plausible thing, and I'm if you go off the rules, which is, again, dead ass are in the rules, damage beats all, and by that logic, Demopoulos won the first two rounds. So, yeah. And if you look at the end of the fight, I think it's a stupid example, but look at the end of the fight. who looks like the winner? The person who does not have a mark on them, pretty much? Or the person who has a fucked up eye, cut open, this, that, and the other thing. So, yeah. I'm not mad at the scorecard. Do I think they got it right? I'm not mad. I don't think they got it right or wrong. I think you could either go 1-2 Demopoulos or 2-3 Murata. And for my picks and my sake, I'm not mad with how they did it. So, yeah, I'm not too upset about it. I don't think it was the worst scorecard in the world. And it's interesting that all three agreed. I would have guessed a split decision for Murata or some funky shit like that, but no, all judges agreed, which is interesting. Very excuse me. Very interesting. But it really very interesting fight to watch. I'll keep saying interesting because it was. And really shed some new light on judges. And maybe they're getting better. I'm actually a little impressed with how they scored this fight. So I gotta say I'm a little impressed. I want to talk about Murata first because I got really little to say about her. Not much to say. Coming back after 2 years on the shelf, and they did not give her that easy of a fight. Demopoulos is always a game, and it showed. And Murata did fine, but you can tell she was knocking rust off in that fight. And once she bounces back, or once she comes back, probably sometime next year, I think she'll be better. I think she'll look better, and I'm interested to see how she does in that fight after getting the rust off the tires. But the fighter to talk about here is Vanessa Demopoulos. She is one frustrating fucking fighter to watch. In back-to-back fights now, she has fought to her opponent's strengths. Against Karolina, she tried to strike. Against Murata, she tried to keep her on the ground. What are you doing? Again, there's a good chance she probably could beat Karolina if she didn't get if she tried to take her down. And then against Murata, she tried to be a fucking Charles Oliveira when you're not. So I'm very confused by what is it. She's just bad fight IQ. She's getting bad coaching. She's just stupid. I'm not sure. Like, it's weird. She didn't do that in her first 3 fights either. Aldrich just picked her apart, but Gomez, she got knocked down, but it just still ended up on the ground, and she fucking got a submission. Junior Fry, she fought at range from what I remember and won. Against Maria Oliveira, she was able to take her to the ground and win. Like, in those fights, she fought to her opponent's weaknesses, what you're fucking meant to do. And now she's trying to fight to their fucking strengths. Are you trying to make a point? Because if so, that's stupid. So, I hope her fucking team, or just herself, can watch her last 2 fights, the one today and the Karolina fight, and be like, what are you doing? If it's her fault, if it's the corner giving her shit advice, then they're fucking stupid. You don't fight to the opponent's strength. You meant to fight the opposite. What? You're not gonna fucking try and, Dustin Poirier ain't gonna try and wrestle Islam. And fucking Islam ain't gonna try and strike with Justin Gaethje. That's fucking stupid. So, yeah. It's very fucking stupid. But, I don't know. It's frustrating, but at least you have to win, and I don't think it was a bad scorecard, so, yeah. Not very much else to say. I hope she can, and she's not a bad fighter. Like, is she a bad fighter? No. Her striking is decent, her ground game's fine. She just fights fucking stupid. So, I don't know. The one red flag for her, she is 35, but she's still fighting at a pretty decent level, and she's not looking bad. So, yeah, not really much to say about Demopoulos besides she's frustrating as shit to pick. And I'm definitely thinking about if I'll pick her next fight, depending on the matchup, because the wrong matchup, and I don't think I'll pick her. So, yeah. Not really much more to say besides, who should they fight next? For Demopoulos to be 4-1 in her last 5, that's impressive. And who could she fight? Sam Hughes is always an option. Corey Lofi, I don't know if she's even still in the UFC. Pierre Rodriguez, Corey McKenna. You got a couple options. Jessica Panay is always there. So you got a few options. I don't know which one is the best. Like Sam Hughes, that'd be a kind of a tough fight. Good test. I don't know. Pierre Rodriguez coming off that loss would be interesting to see how she can bounce back. Corey McKenna, I don't even know what she's doing, but why she's not fighting, but that'd be an interesting fight, I guess. And then Jessica Panay's a vet, can test anyone. Would be a decent test for Demopoulos, but maybe it's too early for that fight. So, I don't know, I'm leaning toward the Pierre Rodriguez fight. I don't think that's a bad one. I think that'd be definitely an interesting fight. And I don't hate it. What's the size advantage for Pierre there? Yeah, Demopoulos is actually taller than her opponent for once. 5'3", so she's an inch taller. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't hate that Pierre Rodriguez fight. I think it'd be an interesting one. Sam Hughes, I think you could do better fights with her. Like, you can give her fucking Jillian Robertson or some shit. Polyana Viana. Man, for Corey McKenna, I don't even know what the fuck she's doing, so, yeah. And Karolina, I think, is actually cut at this point, so, yeah, I like Demopoulos and Pierre Rodriguez. I think that'd be interesting. To talk about her opponent, to talk about Kanako Murata, who could she fight? I would like to see her go down a little bit in competition, like, maybe they didn't give her an easy return fight. Demopoulos is definitely no pushover, so maybe in her second fight you can give her... maybe if you even... Marnik Man, this is right there, but I don't think you go to that extent. Maybe Melissa Martinez, I don't hate that fight. I think that might be the fight to do. Melissa Martinez, not fought in a minute, coming off a loss. I think that would make sense. Besides that, I'm not really seeing much else I would like to see, so yeah. Yeah, let's do that fight, I guess. Why not? And yeah, would be definitely a step down for Murata, and she deserves one after fighting Jan Diroba and Vanessa Demopoulos. So, yeah, not very much more to say besides book that fight. Excuse me. Yeah, not much more to say about this fight. I don't think it was a robbery in the slightest. I get what the judges watched. And who should they fight next? I like Vanessa Demopoulos versus Pierre Rodriguez. I like Kanako Murata versus Melissa Martinez. Demopoulos and Rodriguez, very interesting fight. Why not? And Murata versus Martinez. Why not? Both need a win. Let's see who gets it. Not much more to say besides good one for Demopoulos, even if as much as I don't think the robbery is still questionable. So, yeah. After that, we head to our fourth fight of the night, which was frustrating as fuck. We got Nate Maness versus Mateus Mendonça. Not very much to break down this fight. For the whole fight, Mendonça was just trying to get a fucking leg lock, and eventually Maness just punched him in the face enough times. He gave it up. Maness got on top and ground and pounded him out. I'll start talking about this dipshit. He sucks. Some of the worst fight IQ I've ever seen in the UFC. What the fuck were you doing? I'm very confused on what the fuck your game plan was. You're not gonna get a fucking leg lock on the dude. Why are you still trying? Dumbass. Like, you go to fucking Shoot to Box, which has many good fighters, and you do that shit? Dumbass. He sucks. Honestly. They gave him a fucking layup to get his first UFC win, and he choked it so bad it's not even funny. Like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? heavily disappointed. You get in, let alone he does his first fight back at his weight class, which is flyweight, and he fucking looks worse. He did more of a fight at fucking 35 against Javid. So I don't know, annoying as shit, and Mendonça is garbage. To talk about the guy who actually won the fight, Nate Maness, not much to say. If we're being honest, he only won this fight because Mendonça's a fucking moron. But besides that, yeah, he still is not a good fighter. He still should not be at fucking flyweight, and he'll probably lose his next fight. So not much to say. I don't think Maness is good. He beat a dude who has dumbass fight IQ. So yeah, not much to say. But the only thing left to say is, who should they fight next? For Nate Maness, he did call it CJ Vergara, but I'm not really jumping for joy to that fight, so let's find a different one. How about this dude got a win on fucking Road to UFC last year. He's not had a fight yet. I wouldn't mind to see that. Or O'Day Osborne's always there. So yeah, either one of those fights work. I'll go with this dude, Hein Sung Park. He's got a contract last year, needs to break it in. Nate Maness is right there. So yeah. And then to talk about dipshit himself, Mateus Mendonça. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to give an answer because he's not really deserve one. So yeah, annoying fight to watch. Killed a perfect night of picks for me. And who should Nate Maness fight next? I would like to see him against that guy from Road to UFC. Why not feed Maness to that guy? Because Maness, let's be honest, don't try to actually give him a run. He's not gonna win. And yeah, let's do that fight. Not really much more to say. Mendonça, you're a fucking idiot. Nothing more to say. And now, to end off the prelims, we have a fight that was actually pretty good. It was a lot like the first fight of the night with JJ and Montana. It was just them fighting. As we have Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Diana Belbiţă. For 15 minutes, they pretty much just fought on the feet and had a good fight. In round 1, it was close. I gave it to Belbiţă, but it was a close round. Everyone gave it to Karolina, I guess. Round 2, it was when Karolina started to pull away some. I think she got that round, and then round 3, she just ran away with it, beating the shit out of Belbiţă and winning the fight. Yeah, not far from what I thought the fight would be. I would think Karolina would try to use her wrestling a little more, but I guess Belbiţă was stopping it a little bit. Overall, not the greatest performance by Karolina, but what can you expect? I'll say what I have in mind for that in a second. But yeah, not far from what I thought. Karolina would just be able to be a better fighter, because she is. And she just was able to fight and get smarter and get to win. So good for Karolina. I'm sorry. To talk about Karolina a little more, the main thing I'm thinking after this fight though is when she fights a ranked fighter or someone better, she's gonna get destroyed. You're having a pretty competitive fight with Diana Belbiţă. We have a problem. And you can say the same thing for her fight against Gomez. Like, that fight is very close. In that fight, you could give it to Gomez. This one was more clear, but still, it's like, damn. Like, the fact that you're having close fights with Diana Belbiţă and Sylvia Gomez-Suarez says a lot. And those are not bad fighters, just they're not even close to being ranked fighters. Let's be honest. Put Belbiţă or Suarez in there with Tabs Arici, Lupe Godinez, Yasmin Hagui, Asmin Lucindo, Denise Gomes. How does those fights go? They get Belbiţă and Gomez get demolished. So, yeah, very questionable performances by Karolina, but she has got the W, and now she's on a 4-5 winning streak. One of the nicer comeback stories. 5-fight skid, could have been cut. If she lost Heron, she would have been cut. But she fucking shows out 4 in a row, and now she's ranked, man. Good for her. Good for KK. Like, her luck's gonna run out in her next fight, I feel, but at least she did get to go out on a couple wins, and if she goes out on a loss, whatever, she got some wins. That's all that matters, and good for her. Good for Karolina. With JJ gone, she's the only Polish fighter they have in that division now, I'm pretty sure, so, yeah, she's not doing them, they're not doing them a good, she's representing them pretty well. To talk about Diana Belbiţă, not very much to say. She fought up big time, and she just couldn't hang with the bigger dogs of the division. Like, she can beat, like, at least we know she can beat a Hannah Goldie and a Maria Oliveira. At the same time, you're losing to fucking Liana Jojua and Goya DePaula. That's questionable, but, yeah, Belbiţă's not the best fighter in the world, obviously. You can barely call her decent, and yeah, I think her days in UFC are getting shorter and shorter. I don't think they cut her, but I definitely think that her seat's getting warmer and warmer. So, yeah, right, not much more to say. Like, she's still young, but again, I think her seat's getting warmer in the UFC. So, yeah, not really much more to say on that part. Only thing I have to say is, who should they fight next? For Karolina, you could do Waterson. I don't think that, actually they did do that fight, but you could run that back if they don't cut Waterson. Everyone else is booked. Like, the highest person unbooked is Marina Rodriguez, but I don't see why you would do that fight. Jandiroba, same thing. So most likely, either Karolina is going to fight out of the rankings again, or she's going to fight up in the rankings, but it's going to be a while. I'm not really sure who she could fight. Like, Luma Lukbumi is, like, breathing down the rankings. Fucking Edwin Lucindo, but do I really? I don't love the Lucindo fight yet. But another win, then maybe. Luma, you could do that. I don't hate it, but I doubt it. And then, like, maybe if Tisha Torres comes back pretty soon, you could do that. Torres will get her spot back, and I don't think they did that fight before, so you could do that. But yeah, besides that, I'm very short on fucking Karolina fight ideas. So, I think right now she's more play out and see. I think she deserves to fight up in the rankings. Maybe the winner of Hill and Gomes, probably. I think that would make the most sense. So, yeah, let's do that. I guess she can fight the winner of Hill and Denise Gomes. So, I don't hate that idea. And, yeah. Maybe she can step in for a fight. I doubt she will, but you never know. So, but yeah, good for Karolina. 4 in a row. Well deserved. To talk about Diana Belbiţă, yeah, back to the drawing board. I don't think you cut her. If she loses her next fight, then you can really make that debate. But right now, I don't think you cut her. But who do you have her fight? I don't know. Maybe Calvillo is still roaming around the UFC for whatever reason. Randa Marcos also. Elise Reed. Like, you got those options. So, I don't hate any of those options. So, yeah, you do any of those, and I'm not really seeing anyone else. Martin McMahon, but I think that's like a little too far of a jump down for her. So, yeah, I think I like the Elise Reed idea. So, let's do that fight. Belbiţă and Reed. Why not? Well, yeah, not much more to say on that fight, on this fight. So, good fight. Good win for Karolina. And who should they fight next? I like Karolina versus the winner of Angela Hill and Denise Gomes. And I like Belbiţă versus Elise Reed. Karolina deserves to fight fight someone who's ranked. And Belbiţă, Elise, both coming off losses. Winner moves up, loser probably gets cut. So, yeah, let's do them. And good fight, down to prelims. Those are prelims, pretty decent prelims. Fun first fight, fun second fight, fun third fight, fun fourth fight, fun fifth fight. I'm not mad. Now we go on to the main card, which was also decent. Very decent main card. As we open up with a fight that was, of course, good, because look at who's in it. We have Bill Algeo versus Alexander Hernandez. Fuck. I'm sorry. Yeah, not really much to say about the fight. In round 1, Algeo picked him apart at range. In round 2, Hernandez is doing good work, but Algeo dropped him late and took that round. In round 3, he just picked him apart late. Clear 327 for Bill Algeo. Good win. I'll talk about Bill Algeo first, because, of course, he fought exactly how he should have fought here. Fight at range, poke at him, and get the win. Now that's 2 in a row for him. Second 2-fight winning streak in the UFC. And he's looking better and better. Like, yeah, he's beating not great fighters, but still he's getting wins. And if you score this fight a different way, he could be on a 5-fight winning streak right now. So, yeah, Algeo's good, man. His striking's good. We know his ground game's good. He's just a solid fighter. And, yeah, he's gotten better, and now he's definitely a guy who is getting closer to those 145 rankings. Another win or two, you could easily make a case from being ranked, and I will not be upset about it. So, yeah, he's good. He fights smart, he knows how to use his advantages, and he does what he has to do to win. Good performance by Bill Algeo. To talk about his opponent, Alexander Hernandez. Hernandez is gonna be Hernandez. He's not a great fighter. He's just, like, pretty bad. He has power, and that's about it. He's not the most skilled. He never will be. And he's never gonna beat anyone that great. Like, if you look at his UFC wins, let's be honest. Garbage. Not that good. Oh, that's okay. Garbage. Questionable decision against an old man. It's just not that good. And like, in doing this 145 cut ain't helping, it's hurting him. 155 is not gonna do much better. He's in a lose-lose situation, so yeah, he's not that good anyway, but I do give him respect for this. He's not said no to tough 145 fights. His first 2 fights at featherweight have been Billy Q and Bill Algeo. Respect for taking those fights. Though they are not going easy on him, so he must have pissed off someone in the UFC, because they are not going easy on him. But yeah, good fight. The only thing I can think left to talk about is who should they fight next. For Bill Algeo, he's climbed them unrankings. Is that what we call the unranked fighters? The unrankings. Who could he fight? He called out a lot of names. I don't think any of those fights get made, but who could he fight? Julian Rosa's right there always. Charles Jourdain. Fucking Damon Jackson. Alex Cesar. Is Bruce Lee still ranked? Ooh, he's 14th. Okay. I guess, let's see, Bill Algeo. I don't hate him against Jack Shore. Like, I don't hate this Jack Shore idea. Like, do I really see a better fight for Jack Shore? Like, I don't mind Algeo and Jourdain, but I think Jourdain could get a better fight than that. I think Jourdain can fight a Bruce Leroy or a Damon Jackson right now. I don't think fighting back, which I think he would be in this scenario, is that great for him. So I think I'd rather see Algeo fight someone else. Bao, I don't love that idea. Juicy J, nah, give him an easier fight. Dowdo, no. Philly, no. Like, Nate and Billy Kiwi called out, but I'd rather see these two fight each other. Well, yeah, let's go Jack Shore. I think that'd be a good fight. Bill and Shore. Shore's first fight at 45, he did fine. Let's see how he does in the second fight, give him a real test. And let's see how he does. I like that idea, and let's do it then. So, yeah, not very much more to say for Bill Algeo. To talk about his opponent, Alex Hernandez, I don't know. And for Hernandez, he's in a fucking pickle right now. Like, I really don't know what you can do with him. If he stays at 45, which I'm guessing he's going to, who the fuck do you give him, man? Like, honestly, who could you give him? Like, fucking Kron Gracie? Actually, I like this fight that excuse me. It just crossed my eyes. Grand Superboy. He needs a win. Hernandez needs a 45 win. Let's see it happen. I'm down for that fight. I don't know who wouldn't be. Let's book it. So, yeah, I like it. Yeah, so, not really much more to say about this fight. Besides, good fight to begin the main card. And who should I fight next? I like Bill Algeo versus Jack Shore, and I like Alexander Hernandez versus Stu Ho Choi. Algeo and Shore, why not? Shore gets tested, Algeo gets another big fight, and Hernandez needs a win, Stu Ho Choi needs a win. Could be a good fight. Book it. Not really much more to say about this fight. Book those fights. After that, we head to lightweight. It's actually funny that the main card went 55 or 45, 55, 70, 185. But we go to lightweight for this one in a fight that was so predictable that it's in a dictionary for predictable fights. Drew Dober versus Aoriqileng. Not gonna waste your time. Dober ran through him, as we all knew he would. Only thing to really talk about is who should Drew Dober fight next? He's back in win column. Didn't take really any damage. Who could he fight? You definitely got some options. Joel Alvarez would be very good. I would really like to see that fight. Like, the only guy in the rankings you could fight Diego Ferreira, and I don't know what's going. You could do that. I don't know if you do that, but you could. Yeah, I'd pretty much say either, like, those are the only two fights I'd really even consider doing, is Alvarez or fucking Ferreira. I don't think he's a bad option. I might lean the Joe Alvarez fight though, 'cause I think, like, I know the rankings say Diego the more important fight, but whoever wins between Alvarez and Dober probably gets a ranking, so I think I like that fight. I think I might do that fight. So, yeah, let's do that fight. I think Dober and Joel Alvarez, what a banger. And then for Aoriqileng, I don't got much to say. Cut him or keep him, I don't care. Book Drew Dober with Joel Alvarez. That'd be an amazing fucking fight. Sorry about my nose. It's fucking cold. Third fight is the main card, and it was very surprising. As we have Joaquin Buckley versus Alex Morono. Shockingly solid performance by Buckley for 15 minutes. He literally has picked Morono apart for 15 minutes. I'll talk about Buckley first. Yes, it was a pretty good performance, but I'm not going to change my mind on him that he's just not that good until he does it against a good fighter. Like, his first 2 welterweight fights have been a guy who sucks and a guy who's like the most average welterweight you can find. So, until he does this against a higher level dude, I'm not changing my mind on Buckley. He's not good. So, prove it. Fucking prove it. His best UFC win is Albert Duraev. Point proven. For Alex Morono, we really got little to say. He's gonna win some, he's gonna lose some. Not really much to say. He's the most average welterweight you can find. He's not a bad fighter. He's not a good fighter. He's like the most in the middle welterweight on the roster. So he'll bounce back, obviously. So yeah, not very much to say. Besides, who should they fight next? For Buckley, let's see, who would be a fun fight for Buckley? I want to give him that fight that where if he won, yeah, I'll admit he's actually good. I still love this one idea unless I find something better. I love this idea. Jeremiah Wells. That fight, I said that fight after the Fialho fight. That's the fight, man. That's an amazing fight. These two would put on a fucking war. Book it. That's the fight I want to see. That's the fight I would do. Let's do it. And then for Alex Morono, back to the drawing board. Who could he fight? He could be fed to Mike Malott. I don't hate that. Matt Brown is always there. Phil Rove needs a fight and a win. So you got many options from around. I don't know which one you pick, but you got a couple options. Yeah, really not much to say about this fight. Buckley picked him apart for 15 minutes. Morono's tough. He ate a lot of punishment, but he still took the L. And who should they fight next? I like Joaquin Buckley versus Jeremiah Wells, and I like Alex Morono. We got a couple options, and I don't think any of them are bad. Buckley and Wells would be amazing, and I can guarantee you that ain't going 5 minutes. Someone's taking a fucking nap. That would be a fun fight. Book it. After that, we head to our co-main event of the evening. Joe Pyfer versus Abdul Razak Alhassan. Not the fight I was expecting completely. In the first round, it would start off pretty close. Pyfer was trying to wrestle. Abdul was trying to land a big knockout blow. But as we hit the later part of the round, Pyfer started really getting his flow. And he did take that round. So Pyfer took round 1. Then round 2, Abdul already looked kind of mentally beaten. So after Pyfer got another takedown, it's like 4th of the fight. He had an arm triangle. He locked in an arm triangle, and Abdul Razak did not even try to stop it, and he went out. So, yeah, Joe Pyfer, another win, 3-0 in the UFC. Time for this man to get fucking tested, man. He passed this test with flying colors just like his last two. I'll talk about Joe Pyfer first. Like Joe said, he's passing these tests with flying colors. 3-0, getting a step up in competition every fight. And now it's time we're going to get a bigger step up in competition. The dude's really good. He's only 27 years old. He's a good striker with good power. He's a good ground fighter. He's actually a pretty good ground fighter. He's a real problem in this division right now. Like, he's really talented. He is very young. And he is hungry. Gonna be really interesting to see how he does against some better fighters in the UFC. And I definitely think we're gonna be seeing a number next to a number next to his name sooner rather than later. So yeah, not much more to say on Be Like Joe Pyfer. Jabbar's opponent, Abdul Alhassan. Not really anything new for him. He's gonna win some, he's gonna lose some. He's old. Like, if we're being honest, he should retire. Or he should, like, request his release and just go somewhere else. Because UFC ain't for him anymore. He can't make welterweight anymore. They're not giving him very favorable matchups, and he is 38 years old. I think he'd do good in Masvidal's bare knuckle game bred or whatever. I don't know where else he would go. You could do boxing. Of course, PFL, Bellator, more favorable matchups because no one's actually good over there. So, yeah, LFA, well, no, I don't think you'd go there. Ain't that for, like, prospects? But, maybe one? I think he'd do good in one. So, yeah. KSW, you can do steroids. So, yeah, I don't know. Abdul is not... He's old, man. He's 38 years old, and it shows. He cannot hang with these guys anymore, especially at middleweight. And his UFC career might be coming closer to an end. So, yeah. Not really much more to say on that. The only thing I have to say is who should they fight next? For Joe Pyfer, 3 in a row. Who is next? You got some options. You definitely have some options. Chris Curtis. Wait, ain't Curtis moving down to a fucking welterweight or some shit? Sorry if that was loud. So, yeah. Jack Hermansson's a little too high ranked. I don't think you give him a ranked fight yet, because the only guy, like Curtis is the only guy you could make a case for, but I'm pretty sure he's going to welterweight. So, yeah, and everyone else is too highly ranked for him. So maybe a Gregory Rodriguez is still right there. Like, RoboCop is right fucking there for a fun fight. I don't hate that fight. Makhmud Muradov also. So, I don't know. Rodriguez or Chris Curtis, if he does stay at middleweight, I like either of those fights. So, yeah, I really don't know what, like, the division's really starting to get full at this part. You got, like, just young guys getting closer to rankings. Kaio, Fluffy, Pyfer, Rodriguez, Ikram, Park, fucking the Sultan, Muradov, Kopylov, Petrosky, Bo Nickel, fucking, it's really just starting to fill up with guys, and it's starting to overflow, and I really don't want to see those guys fight each other yet. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what you do with Joe Pyfer. I would say Curtis or Gregory Rodriguez. Either one would work pretty well, I think. Then for Abdul Alhassan, I'm not sure if he stays in the UFC. Maybe I like that Chidi and Joaquin fight right above him. Two guys who hit hard would be fun. Phil Hawes would be interesting. Josh Frem's always an interesting opponent. Trayshawn Gore. So you got some options. I don't hate any of those options. Or he just leaves. He gets cut and he goes somewhere else. So I don't know. I'll say Chidi and Joaquin. I like that fight. It would be a very entertaining fight, but I doubt they do that fight. And yeah, not really much more to say about this fight. Good promise by Joe Pyfer. And who should I fight next? For Pyfer, I'm not quite sure. Curtis or Rodriguez. And for Abdul, let's see him fight Chidi and Joaquin. Someone's going to take a nap in that fight. That's for sure. Good co-main event. Joe Pyfer is legit. And I don't even know what to say about this fight. The main event of the evening. Bobby Green versus Grant Dawson. Holy fucking shit. 33 seconds. 33 seconds it took Bobby Green to fraud check Grant Dawson. That is beyond fucked. I I'm speechless still. I was speechless then, I'm speechless now. A little right hook or a straight right that looked like it did nothing, or looked like it should do nothing, puts Grant Dawson out. Wow. I can't believe it. Well, what do you talk about with this fight besides that just happened? Let's talk about Bobby Green first. He is, first of all, people need to learn this dude, like, Bobby Green's actually really good. He's not just he's not just a fan favorite who's not good. He's not just entertaining. Like, look at a couple of his fights. A really close, good fight with Fiziev. Short notice against Islam. He was doing really good against Dober. Like, just those 3 names alone. 2 of them are ranked guys. Like this was a really close fight. Give him a full camp. I think this fight is a little closer. Like, and then he was doing good work against Drew Dober, who we know is a really good fighter. Like, he's really fucking good, actually. It's fucking insane to an extent how, like, he's actually still pretty good. And he's like, what, 37? And he's still kicking? Dude, he's knocking off a dude who's like, what, 11 years younger? So, Bobby Green is legit, man. He's ranked. He's gonna be ranked he's probably gonna be number 10. He'll probably be right under Dan Hooker. And I like it. I'm happy for him. Has he ever been ranked? I don't think he's ever been ranked. So that's actually really interesting. I like it. Good for him, man. Good for Bobby Green. I'll talk about who he should fight in a minute. It's not the answer you think. I think my answer is going to shock some people, but if you really think about it, I like it. But yeah, he's in the ranking now, and we can forgive him for this. We can forget this happened. Forgive and forget. It's cool. I'm speechless. Like I said, if I even thought Bobby Green was actually going to win, because I didn't think he was actually going to win. If I thought he was going to actually win at all, knockout in the first would have been my last guess. I would think he probably would have subbed him more than he was going to knock him the fuck out. So, crazy shit. But that's Bobby Green, man. That's Bobby Green. To talk about the joke of the card, Grant motherfucking Dawson. This motherfucker gets a cherry-picked fight that's meant to show off, meant to be a showcase fight for him, and he gets dropped in 33 seconds. Fraud checked. Yeah, it's done for him for a minute. Like, people let, like, we let almost losing to Leonardo Santos, because if he didn't get that knockout, he would have lost. We let that slide. We let a draw against Ricky Glenn slide. It happened. You went on a nice 3-fight winning streak. We all forgot about that. Then this happens. It's over. It's over. Now everyone's gonna look back. Oh yeah, he almost lost to Leonardo Santos. Oh yeah, he had a draw with the dude Drew Dober and ran through him for 2 minutes. Like, it's over, bro. It's literally, he lost to a 5-2 dude. Jesus. Like, it's over. First of all, he's not that good. He's just a wrestler. He can't strike. Second of all, it's done for him. He has to do some insane shit to live this down. Like, he just got fucking embarrassed. He put up less of a fight than Tony did in 20... Bobby Green has had 2 fights in the span of what? 4 months? In the span of 3 months, and Tony Ferguson put up more of a fight. 2023 Tony Ferguson, who's probably gonna lose to Paddy Pimblett, put up more of a fight than Grant Dawson did. That says... I don't even know what it says. Yeah, I think this kid's done. He got fraud checked. He might be mentally checked out now. So... And what do you even do with him now? Who does he fight? Like, RDA, we don't know where he's even fighting. Welterweight, lightweight. Jalen, I guess? But why did Jalen waste his time with this dude? Moicano's should fight Hooker. Frivola's fighting BSD. He's gonna get unranked. What do you do with Dawson? Like, I'm legitly... his career... we might have seen a career die. Like, this motherfucker got fraud checked to the moon and back. So, yeah. I'm still a little speechless. But at least I can say fraud check. Now to talk about the interesting part of this. Who do I think they should fight? For Bobby Green, I know this answer might shock some people, but I think it's the right call. Mateus Gamrot. This guy did not beat Fiziev, barely beat Turner. I know he's the backup for Charles Islam. He's not going to be needed, of course. Give him let's see him fight Bobby Green. He needs the real win, because he hasn't got one since a while. Yeah, let's see Bobby Green fraud check Gamrot. Nothing more to say. And then for Grant Dawson, Jalen Turner. To go back to that Gamrot, I know I'm kind of joking a little bit. I really think Bobby Green could win this fight, so yeah, book it. And then I guess Dawson versus Turner. I know what to do with Dawson now. Like, everything he built up flushed down the drain in 33 seconds. Brutal. And Bobby Green is finally ranked, baby. Let's go. Yeah, not very much more to say about this fight besides, holy shit, Bobby Green is him. And who should I fight next? I like Bobby Green versus Mateus Gamrot. And I like Grant Dawson versus Jalen Turner, I guess. Bobby and Gamrot, why the fuck not? Pay-per-view, fight night, book it. Dawson, Turner needs a win, man. Turner needs a win to get back on track, and Dawson's that guy. He has a soft chin. Let Jalen crack it. Bobby Green, baby. Bobby fucking Green. Boom. There's the card. To talk about how I did on my picks, I went 9 of 10, 5 perfect, 600. Finished 8th on Topology. I'm him. Thank you, Mendonça, for fucking up my whole thing because you're a dumb fuck. The bonuses were... they don't show, but there were 4 performance bonuses. I'm pretty sure it's Bobby Green, Joe Pyfer, Drew Dober, and Nate Maness. Questionable. I think no question I would have done performance bonus to Bobby Green and Drew Dober, and I probably would have gave 5 a night to Joaquin, Buckley, and Morono if I had to. But if I'm just doing performance bonuses, I say Green, Dober, yeah, and Maness, sure. I don't know. This card didn't have like that clear standout 5 a night, and outside of Bobby Green didn't have, and Rick and Drew Dober, it didn't have that clear standout like finish, but it was just an average card of good fights all around. So yeah. And lastly, if you missed the card, what would I tell you to rewatch? Everything. I don't think there was a bad fight on this card. Solid fight. Interesting fight. Solid fight. Great knockout. Solid fight. And fucking insane. Rewatch everything. It was a good card. It's worth it. And I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy this card, and I think it beyond overperformed. It looked decent on paper, and it definitely overperformed in my opinion. So, yeah, and I'm happy about that. That's always fucking great. So, yeah, not very much more to say unless I'm going to say something. Yeah, great card for UFC to come back with, and now we stay in the apex. We stay in the apex for next week's card, Sadiq Yusuf and Edson Barboza. I don't know how I feel about the main event, but I know the rest of the card's great. Johnson Martinez, Adrian Yanez, Cameron Simon, Christian Rodriguez, Michelle Pereira, Andre Petrovsky, fucking couple of Chris Gutierrez have moved to that card. It's a really solid card next week, and I'm excited for it. So maybe if it's as good as this card and it ends as crazy as it, I'm excited. So yeah, but not really much more to say about this card, or not really much more to say about in this video in general. Besides, I hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me what you thought of the card. Tell me what you can't speak. Tell me what you thought of the card, how you did on picks, bets, whatever the fuck you want to tell me. And unless I'm going to say something, which I don't think I am, you'll hear from me again next Friday for a breakdown of UFC Vegas 81. I just talked about that, Barboza and Yusuf. You'll hear a recap either Sunday 1 p.m. EST or Monday 10 a.m. EST. I know you're shocked that you put out the recap on a Sunday. I did not lazy out on Saturday night, so fuck you. Please watch, please. I need any view I can get. and as always, 50 subs goal by the end of the year. RX. Out. Bobby King Green, motherfuckers.